want to ask Jason. I really want to ask him. You know, because I know he doesn't write his songs.
He doesn't?
No, he was actually. I'll tell you a funny story. I saw an interview that he actually, you know, when he got, he was in a band. He was in a little band back in Georgia, and they, you know, they performed this and that, and he had moved out with his high school sweetheart. That was who he had, you know, married originally. He married a high school sweetheart. He moved out to Nashville. He went to go make a go at country music. They wanted him, I think it was, don't quote me on it, but I think it was like 3 or 5 years, something like that, while he was there, attempting to be a country artist. You know, they wanted him to write songs. You know what I mean? So he was writing songs, this and that. He didn't like writing songs. You know,
Oh, real quick, does that make you a real artist if you don't write your own material?
I mean, that's kind of hard to say, man. I mean, I think artists, you know, the fact that he can use his vocal skill, and the fact that he can, you know, put these songs together with these arrangements and bring out the performance. I mean, I think he's an artist. You know, and he's a big influence from a contemporary standpoint of country music. His style and his stage presence is a big influence to me. So, I mean, I love him. And if I had a chance to meet him, just to pick his brain for some advice of how, you know, what he would recommend to help me, I'd be all about it. You know what I mean? But you know, you got singers and songwriters. I mean, prime example, you got Dallas Davidson, who does a lot of songwriting. And he writes a lot for Luke Bryan. So does that make Luke Bryan, you know, not an artist? No. I mean, I think a lot of artists do a combination. I mean, Luke's written music. He did a lot of writing on his first, you know, album, you know. And
now, do you think some of the artists, the reason why they buy so much because it's so hard to write?
Well, you get writer's block. You know, I'm seeing those struggles right now as an up and coming artist. You know, I see myself out here thinking about ideas. I mean, I could be driving, I could be sitting down, whatever, strumming. It doesn't matter. I could think of any concept, any idea, and there's never a perfect balance, you know. The balance is, you know, you need a hit. You know, that's what it comes down to. You want a hit. So how do you make a hit? You know,
you think hard.
I mean, I think you think hard, but I think it's a combination of things. I mean, you gotta have a something that's gonna keep up with the time. You know. What's relevant right now? I think that's the biggest question we all ask ourselves as artists. You know, what do people want to hear? What do they want to, you know, what is going to get them up and going? What's going to touch them in the heart? What's going to inspire them, right? You know, we all got skeletons in our closet. We all got, you know, negative and positive situations that we're surrounded by on a daily basis. So I think there's always something special for everybody.
So what would you say to a person that from a year from now watches this as you grow as an artist? What would you say to somebody else trying to be an artist?
I would say if you're gonna go after being an artist, you got to give it 110%. You know, you got to put 150% of your effort into making the best body of work every single time. I mean, it's like you can't just wake up and want to be an artist, you know. You gotta want it.
What about living the experiences in your life and writing towards that?
I mean, I think that's part of it. I mean, I think that music's changed a lot from back in the day. That's something I want to change. I want to really use my experiences to really cultivate who I am, you know, what I am, like as far as what I represent, this and that. But I think all in all, you know, people like certain songs. So I mean, as an artist, I think you kind of have to have songs that are just relevant at the time. You know, I don't think that you can just focus your whole album all the time on just your experiences, because sometimes you do have a writer's block. And I think the only way that you can, you know, have an album and be able to hit your deadlines and release it and get it on time to your fans and stuff is to kind of use some songs that other people write every now and again.